So I'm gonna do this next slide here. Actually, I'm gonna do this one first. Yeah, I have something going on in my backyard. This is just a progression of my sanding of my putting green and my Kentucky bluegrass. You know, I believe starts May 30th, and the last picture is like the 14th of June. So it's like a 2-week period, 14 days. And, this is just all the work that I did getting my yard ready. But the importance to me, especially with the putting green, is it just needs to be done. It helps the new growth. I mean, if you saw my video on the dethatching that I did on my putting green, I mean, I pretty much tore that thing down to sand. I dethatched it and I aerated it, blade aerated it with my son Joe, and I really tore that putting green up, but it hadn't been done in a year. And I was ready to kind of work on some of the bad spots that I have going on in my yard. And so I really wanted to get a good coating of sand on top of it, kind of get it level, and put some more seed down. So I kind of did it as like a reseed. And it turned out really good. I mean, you can see from the drone video here, I mean, look at how green my Kentucky bluegrass got in just a few days. All that organic material that I put in there is just adding, more benefits to my soil, microbes and those sorts of things. But look at how green that Kentucky bluegrass came, And please remember, I barely fertilize. Nitrogen and iron is all I use. And like I said, I'm not even really using iron a lot because I'm trying to work on my pH in my soil. And I know pH is not a really important thing to a lot of people, but here in the Pacific Northwest, because of moss is out of control in this area. That's probably one of the worst things that people have a problem with in this area. And that's the biggest question I get from people that I talk to when I start talking yards with people. And look at that right there. That the green is, I just started cutting it at 3 millimeters yesterday. It still needs a little bit of fill in a couple of areas, but down here, I'm going to round the corners on this, smooth the edges a little bit. It's too square right now. And that bottom corner, I am so tired of that area. I have had just no luck, no matter how hard I tried to get that level and to get that to the right, levelness. It's just not working. I mean, you can see here as it's even growing in. That area right down here on the bottom, it just doesn't cooperate. Also on the top up here, this top corner, those two areas are just killing me. I don't know what it is about them. No matter how hard I try and I concentrate on getting that area level so I don't scalp it with the mower and all that sort of stuff, it just doesn't work. The rest of my lawn is great. I mean, the putting green, it's really level. It's not perfectly level. I do have some break in my putting green, but I just have a couple of spots that I just, for whatever reason, I can't get them dialed in. So they're coming out. I'm going to be planting Kentucky bluegrass there. I'm going to have a few days off here in a couple of weeks, or in a week or so. And I'm going to get the tenacity out, and I'm going to start reshaping my putting green. And it's going to look terrible for probably the rest of the season, but you know what? I don't even care at this point. I'm going to get that done, and I'm going to get it reseeded in the fall and just look towards next year. It's really driving me crazy. And I don't know what it is. And you got to remember, I'm cutting at 2 millimeters. So that's not very, I'm sure you understand, that's not a lot. So there's really no room for error when you're mowing this sort of stuff. And my Kentucky bluegrass is cut at 1/4 inch. And these are just a lot of the things I talk about, and the reasons why I have my channel and I started talking about the fertilization and how to take care of a low cut is, to me, it's not as much work as everybody tells you it is. I like working in the yard for an hour or two on the weekends. You know, here lately, it seems like I've been out there every day for both days because I have all these projects going on and they're overrunning into something else that I need to do. But I thought up all this stuff that I'm doing this winter of all these projects, and I'm on the backside of it now. And I literally spent just an hour yesterday out in the yard mowing, and I'll probably spend another hour in the backyard today working on that. But I think that this right here and the composting and everything really is turning out good. I mean, this is 2 weeks after I did it, and I really scalped and blade aerated that putting green really out of control. Even the Kentucky bluegrass, I really went to town on it. The videos don't really show how much I tore it up, but I probably did 2 times the dethatching and blade aerating I needed to.